My name is Rob, and I'm the owner of Khonsu, a company that connects locals to visitors to share insider tips online. For the past year, I've been helping visitors like you make the most of their time in New York doing the things they love. In this video, I'll take you through the top 11 sites in New York and how you can see them in just 3 days. Stay tuned. All right, I have a confession. When I filmed that intro, I planned to put all 11 sites into one video. But as I started to put the content together, I realized there's so much information I want to share with you guys that it's better if I break this into 3 separate videos. So this is video 1 of a 3-part series where I'll walk you through the top 11 sites in New York and how you can see them in just 3 days. After watching this, you'll know which sites were most popular with visitors in 2024, how you can easily organize your days to make sure that you see them, and planning tips you can use on your next trip to New York. My name is Rob, and I'm the owner and founder of Khonsu, a company that connects locals to visitors to share insider tips online. For the past 2 years, we've been helping visitors like you make the most of their time in the city through planning collaborations and sharing insight about local experiences. Last year, we created a free day planner that was used by over 30,000 people. And at the end of the year, we looked at the data to see which sites were most popular with visitors. Based on that, we created a list of the top 21 most popular sites, and you'll find a link to that in the description below. And in this video, I'll walk you through the top 11. So relax, sit back, I'll put on some music, and let's get started with this list. Okay, coming in the number 11 spot, we have the Statue of Liberty. It's not surprising that the statue made the list, although it is surprising that it's all the way down here at the bottom. I feel like this is a must-see for anyone visiting New York, but hey, that's just me. The number 10 spot goes to the newest and shiniest observation deck in the city, and also my personal favorite, Summit One. At number 9, we have a food hall. And there have been a number of food halls that have opened in the past few years, but Chelsea Market remains the OG. At 8 is a beautiful elevated walking park along the west side of Manhattan, the High Line. At 7, we have a central transportation hub. It's big, it's beautiful. Some may even call it grand. We call it Grand Central. The 6th spot goes to the epicenter of Christmas during the holidays, Rockefeller Center. Number 5 is the most iconic observation deck in the city. King Kong climbed it, Harry met Sally there. It's the Empire State Building. Number 4 has special meaning to me. I was across the street the day the towers fell, and this touched me personally. I'm very happy to see that you guys haven't forgotten about the importance of the 9/11 memorial. Okay, now we're getting to our top 3 most visited places by travelers in 2024. Coming in at number 3, Manhattan has 21 bridges, but only one of them made the list, and it's the Brooklyn Bridge. The second most visited spot in New York for 2024 is also the most filmed site in New York City, Central Park. And in the number 1 spot, it's the most visited place in New York for 2024, the bright lights in the big city, also known as the crossroads of the world, Times Square. And it's really not surprising that Times Square is at number 1. This is where most visitors start when they begin their exploration in New York. Now that we have our 11 sites, let's switch to the laptop and start planning our days. I'm on our website, askkhonsu.com, and I'm on our free day planner page. It's called My Daily Plan. I'll scroll down here, and there's a big map with a search bar where I will enter in the 11 places and then start to organize them into different days. So day 1 we had Times Square. And on this day, I will also see Rockefeller Center and Central Park. Every time I add an activity, it drops a pin so that I can see where that activity is located in relation to the other activities on that day. If I scroll down, I can see exactly how my days are organized. I'll plan a second day, and let's go to the Empire State Building, and we'll see Chelsea Market and the High Line, Grand Central, and Summit One is right there. So that's going to be our second day. Day 3, we'll go to Lower Manhattan and we'll see the Statue of Liberty, the Brooklyn Bridge, and the 9/11 Memorial. Okay. It takes a while to see the Statue of Liberty, and it can also take some time at the 9/11 Memorial. So I wanted to just keep this day pretty tight. Now, if I click all, I can see all the activities and I can see how they're located on the map. Let's dig in and just focus on day 1. So now that we have our main attractions, I'll add in some other things that we'll see along the way, like St. Patrick's Cathedral. We'll see Radio City Music Hall. We'll walk by Fifth Avenue. So let's see Saks Fifth Avenue, and let's see the Louis Vuitton store because I haven't seen it in a little while. And then when we walk into Central Park, we'll take a look at the zoo. Let's see Bethesda Terrace, and let's check out the Imagine Mosaic and see what's going on there. Great. Okay. So that's it. We're set. I'll find some nice, relaxing walking music, which we can listen to during this trip, and I'll meet you outside. Okay, so I'm going to start where most visitors start, in Times Square. I'm sure you've heard people say, avoid this area, but look, it was the most requested attraction by visitors to New York in 2024. So I'm not here to sway your opinion. This is your trip, it's your time. And if you want to visit, you should. I'm just here to help you plan. So here's a few things you should know. First, there's a lot of hotels in the area. If you're a first-time visitor, odds are you're staying here. It is in Midtown, and it's pretty easy to get around from here. If you're not staying in the area, it's perfectly fine. You can still get around Manhattan, and when you're ready to visit Times Square, you'll just take the subway in like I did. I'll talk more about taking the subway on day 2. Another great perk to Times Square is Broadway. I know Broadway is not for everyone, but personally, I love it. There's something truly magical about watching an actor bring their character to life that doesn't translate to the movies. Broadway is basically in Times Square, and at 7 p.m. when curtains rise, there is a different feeling in the area. We're often asked about tips for ticket prices, and there are lotteries to shows, but these work best when you know the specific show that you want. If you're not sure, feel free to ask our team, and we're happy to give you a recommendation. As a general rule, ticket prices are based on how close your seat is to the stage. So orchestra seats are more expensive than balcony seats, just like a concert. A great option for visitors is the TKTS booth. The TKTS booth sells same-day discount tickets to shows. This is a first-come, first-served booth, meaning you don't go to the booth and tell them what you want discount tickets for. They'll tell you what's available on that day, and then you can decide if you'd like to purchase. The odds of getting more than 2 tickets here are slim, so this option is best for couples or solo travelers. We don't recommend this for families because if you do get 3 to 4 tickets, they're usually in different sections, and it's just awkward being split up from your family. Okay, we spent enough time in Times Square. Let's make our way to see the big tree at Rockefeller Center. I was a little surprised how busy it was on the way, but it is holiday week. You can always tell we have visitors in town when you see people in these selfie stands singing Empire State of Mind. Now, on our right is Radio City Music Hall. This is where the Rockettes perform. And on the left are my favorite holiday ornaments. They make an appearance every year, and they are the perfect backdrop to your IG posts. The street between Radio City and Rockefeller Center is blocked off, which gives us more space to walk. Now we're passing the entrance to the top of the rock, and it looks like the line is not too long outside. But remember, that's just to get to the door. The line continues inside. If you're visiting during peak season and you plan to go, I would recommend reserving time in advance to save yourself some of the headaches of this line. It's not a requirement, it really just depends when you're visiting. At the end of the building is where we get our first view of the tree. This year's tree is a 74-foot Norway spruce from Massachusetts. The tree arrives in November, it's lit in early December, and it stays lit until mid-January. The ice rink is right in front of the tree, but they were cleaning the ice when I stopped by, so there's not much to see. Across from Rockefeller Center is St. Patrick's Cathedral. This is such a beautiful building. Tours are available and Mass is open to the public. Now, when you're looking at the tree through the Channel Gardens, directly behind us is Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks did not have their holiday light show this year, but they did decorate their retail windows. We'll see if the light show comes back in 2025. Now, our next stop is Central Park. And since we're already on Fifth, let's just walk it and check out the holiday retail windows. Fifth Ave is home to a number of luxury brands and some of the best window shopping in Manhattan. The Coach store was really nice this year, but the big draw was the Louis Vuitton store. In my opinion, they won for creativity. This actually went up during Halloween, so they've had some time to create a buzz, and you can tell based on the crowd that's around the building. From the Louis store, we're about 1 block to the southern end of Central Park, and the closest entrance to the Central Park Zoo. If you walk this way during the summer, you can even get a glimpse of the sea lion show. The energy in Central Park is completely different from the rest of Manhattan. A lot of visitors ask us, what's the best way to get around the park? So let me break it down for you. Horse and carriage is by far the most iconic. It's beautiful in photos and in movies. But after you've sat behind a horse for an hour, you realize it looks better than it smells. The majority of visitors choose pedicabs. There's a lot of pedicab drivers in the park, but I wouldn't recommend getting one on the day because you'll pay a lot. If you're planning to book a pedicab tour, book it in advance. We can recommend some if you need. One of the best options is to rent a bike and explore on your own. This is a great idea during summer. You can rent a city bike at the southern end of the park and use it as a mode of transportation to explore the area. City bikes can be returned throughout New York, so after you ride through the park, you can explore the surrounding areas, get coffee or a bite to eat, and then head to your next activity. I love it when customers choose this because I know they're getting a local feel. But my favorite way to get around is on foot. Keep in mind, I grew up here, I'm in decent shape, and I'm used to walking. Besides the exercise, walking gives you a chance to focus on the reason for your trip, which is to spend time with people you love. It may be your partner, your kids, your grandparents, your friends, or yourself. Walking gives us a chance to slow down and appreciate the little things that we take for granted when we're moving so fast. And to me, that's really what the park is about. Central Park's beauty is in its contrast to the rest of Manhattan. It's everything it is and everything it's not that makes it uniquely New York.
I can